It's Pride Month, y'all, and I'm going to focus on topics related to sex and sexuality this month. I get lots of questions from folks about their sexuality at my practice and from listeners just like you. One of the more common areas relates to asexuality and pansexuality. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome back to Savvy Psychologist. I'm your host, Dr. Monica Johnson. Every week on this show, I'll help you face life's challenges with evidence based approaches, a sympathetic ear, and zero judgment. Let's start by giving a working definition for both asexuality and pansexuality. Asexuality exists on a broad spectrum. Some asexual individuals might experience little to no sexual attraction throughout their lives, while others might feel sexual attraction under specific circumstances, which is often referred to as being gray asexual or gray A. Another term within the spectrum is demisexual, where individuals only experience sexual attraction after forming a strong emotional connection. Romantic orientation is a crucial aspect of many asexual individuals' identities. While they may not experience sexual attraction, many aces do experience romantic attraction. Romantic orientations can be as diverse as sexual orientations and include heteromantic, so attraction to a different gender, homoromantic, attraction to the same gender, biromantic, attraction to two or more genders, and panromantic, attraction to people regardless of gender. And there's also aromantic, where you experience little or no romantic attraction. For example, an asexual person might identify as biromantic, meaning they could be romantically attracted to people of more than one gender, but not feel sexually attracted towards them. Romantic orientation helps asexual individuals articulate these feelings and desires in relationships, providing a more nuanced understanding of their personal experiences. A common misconception is that asexuality is the same as celibacy. However, these concepts are fundamentally different. Celibacy is a conscious choice to abstain from sexual activity, often for personal, religious, or philosophical reasons. Asexuality, on the other hand, is an inherent sexual orientation where an individual does not feel sexual attraction regardless of their choice to engage in or abstain from sexual activity. While some asexual individuals might also choose celibacy, it is not a defining characteristic of their orientation. Understanding this distinction is vital in recognizing asexuality as a legitimate and distinct sexual orientation. Asexual individuals can and do form meaningful and fulfilling relationships. These relationships might include romantic partnerships, deep friendships, or other forms of close bonds. While sexual activity is not a driving factor for ACEs, intimacy and connection can still play a significant role in their lives. Some asexual people might choose to engage in sexual activities for various reasons, such as to satisfy a partner's needs, to have children, or out of curiosity. Others might prefer relationships that don't involve sex, often referred to as platonic partnerships or queer platonic relationships, which prioritize emotional and intellectual intimacy over physical intimacy. Now, let's switch gears and talk about pansexuality. Pansexuality is derived from the Greek prefix pan, meaning all or every. Thus, pansexuality encompasses the potential for attraction to people of all gender identities, including male, female, transgender, non binary, genderqueer, and others. It is important to note that being pansexual does not mean being attracted to everyone, but rather having the capacity for attraction to individuals regardless of their gender. However, many bisexual individuals define their orientation as inclusive of non binary and genderqueer individuals as well. Pansexuality explicitly rejects the gender binary by emphasizing attraction that transcends gender categories altogether. While there is overlap, this distinction lies in the framing. Bisexuality often works within the gender framework, whereas pansexuality explicitly seeks to move beyond it. There are many challenges for those who identify as asexual or pansexual, and there is overlap between these two sexual orientations. A common one that I see is invisibility. Both are not widely recognized or understood, leading to a lack of representation and awareness. Additionally, like many non heteronormative orientations, pansexuality can be misunderstood or overlooked. People might assume pansexual individuals are either gay or straight based on their current relationship. Invalidation is another common challenge. For those that are asexual, others that don't understand may say things like, you just haven't found the right person yet. Or if you're pansexual, people may think you're simply attention seeking, can't make up your mind, or just going through a phase. There are some who pathologize that asexuality is due to early traumatic experiences. Also, there are situations where those who are asexual feel pressured to conform to societal standards. So they may feel forced to engage in sexual activity to meet the expectations of their partners or peers. For pansexual folks, there are sometimes stereotypes that they are promiscuous, can't be involved in monogamous relationships, and sometimes there's a lack of recognition, even within the LGBTQIA plus spaces. This is by no means an exhaustive list of the challenges faced by those who identify as asexual or pansexual, but are some examples of the common issues that I hear. If you or someone you know is dealing with challenges related to their sexuality, here are a couple of tips. If you're curious about if you're asexual or pansexual, seek out information. So, you want to educate yourself, learn about asexuality or pansexuality to get a deeper understanding of the sexual orientation. You want to read books, articles, and research studies, and follow online resources dedicated to asexuality or pansexuality. There's also really great forums where you can talk to other people who identify as asexual or pansexual or those that are exploring their identity. My next tip is self reflection. Spend time reflecting on your feelings and experiences. Journaling can help to clarify your thoughts and provide insight into your identity. The next thing that I would strongly encourage is to find and create community. You can do this through online communities, so you can join online forums, social media groups, and websites like the Asexuality Visibility and Education Network to connect with other asexual individuals. You also want to find local groups. So you want to seek out local LGBTQI plus organizations and support groups. Many larger cities have specific groups for asexual or pansexual people. You also want to build community through allies. Encourage friends, family, and partners to learn about asexuality or pansexuality and become allies. Allies can help support and advocate for your needs. Whether you're a member of the community or an ally, how are you showing up and showing out for Pride Month? Let me know. You can contact me via my Instagram at KindMindPsych or via my email at psychologist@quickanddirtytips.com. The Savvy Psychologist is a quick and dirty tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Steve Rickyberg, with script editing by Brandon Getchus. Our podcast and advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchings, and our marketing and publicity associate is Davina Tomlin. Follow Savvy Psychologist on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's all for this episode of Savvy Psychologist. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.